Hi, this is Katie O She Wha Nitah with HJR Seminars LLC, Harmonizing Journey to Realignment Seminars and Sessions. And the topic of the HJR Insight today is the Guardian Alliance. And there has been a lot of fear and disinformation surrounding the Guardian Alliance. The Voyagers Series is an excellent by Ashayana Deane, aka Arhayas, gives the most comprehensive hidden history of who the Guardian Alliance concerns, who we are as a human angelic race. Okay, and I also utilized this as well for some information to do this. Of course, I always utilize the Seth Material, although I didn't directly in this time, but as far as getting information about the hidden history, the Seth Material, Rudolph Steiner, Gigi, and of course there's others, give excellent filler information about our hidden history, so I recommend checking them out as well. And just sort of setting to the tone, the Guardian Alliance clarifies that their information is all theory, for nothing here in our light body outer realm is quote-unquote rock bottom solid. We all create our reality within our lone harmonic. We all make agreements of which basic named concepts or ideas, such as a book, is, yet each of us sees our own book, meaning there's millions upon billions of views of just one book. Okay. The Guardian Alliance, of the Interdimensional Association of Free Worlds, also known as Iafw, of the Emerald Order, Melchizedek, Cloister, Holy Order of the Unisci, Sacred House of One. These many races of beings live by an egalitarian, cooperative, through co-creative agreements that are based upon principles of the law of one communion and genuine non-patriarchal Melchizedek Cloister Maharata Inner Christos teachings. And that was page 8 out of this one. Page 158 out of this one. The Iafw was created as a unified collective of guardian angelic nations. Their job was to protect our time matrix from the fallen angelic race dominion, restore the structural integrity of our time matrix damaged by fallen angelic warring, and offer Melchizedek Cloister bioregenesis, rehabilitation, and ascension programs to the fallen angelic legions in our time matrix, which I'll reference a little bit more of what I mean by that. The founding races of the Iafw created the Azurite, Iani, Grail line, race, strain, and the Azurite Universal Templar Security Team 250 billion years ago. The 15-dimensional Iafw and its over 25 billion interdimensional guardians of our time matrix since the founder's creation of the Iafw 250 billion years ago. So, the GA, Guardian Alliance, created by the Iafw 570 to 568 million years ago during the restatement of the Emerald Covenant, during which the Oraphim and Oraphim angelic human lineage. was created. That was on Terra. Harmonic Universe 2. The GA was formed as a task force to increase security in our time matrix when the Anu, Elohim, fallen, angelic legions created the Anunnaki race line 568 million years ago to destroy the Orifim angelic human lineage. There's lots of history to that I'm not going to discuss because you can get the book and read it. And races of the Emerald Covenant serves as the governing body of over 10 million Emerald Covenant Star League nations within 4 densities of matter, or another way of saying 4 densities, 4 harmonic density of matter in our time matrix. Okay. The GA, okay, is directed by the Janus, density 5, or harmonic universe 5, or 15-dimensional, MC, Iani, Master Council of the Elohai, Elohim, Emerald Order, Brenu, Breneau, Christos, Founder Races, and the Iafw. The GA is the administrative body of 12 GA signets. And signet represents a dimension. Or another term for a dimension is the signet. So we have 12 in our 12th dimensional matrix, 12 signet councils. Each of the 12 GA signet councils is appointed by the Janus. And the Janus are in our dimensions 13, 14, and 15. Janus and Iafw to serve as the primary guardians of one of the 12 universal stargates in the Universal Templar complex. Each of the 12 GA signet councils comprise 2 master command committees, 2 subordinate command committees, and many other smaller organizations. GA signet councils 10, 11, and 12 represent the Lyrian High Council races as they protect the stargates of the Cradle of Lyra in density 4, the passageway into and out of density for seeding incoming creation and for ascension out of our time matrix. And I got that out of that last bit of information out of this book. Angelic Realities, The Survival Handbook by Ashayana Deane, Ecker, MC, page XIX. Way in the beginning, little introductory material. Pretty much all these books have this introductory material of this basic information. Okay, a little bit more specific. The 3 founder races are members of this association. There is some confusion around who they are. To answer these questions, it depends, and again, kind of does sort of depend on who you are, who your own personal lineage came from. But there is a connection to the human race as a general rule, meaning, okay, we only perceive, right, what's in our templates. Our templates is a multidimensional configuration of this 15-dimensional time matrix. Below is a list of some of the guardians and their divergent relatives or fallen angelic. Some Gigi Young's been using the word divergent. I think it's absolutely perfect. Divergent civilizations is really angelic humans, or fallen angelic humans, or fallen angelics. Humans, yeah. Or races, depending upon where they're at developmentally. Okay. The 3 founder races, okay, that I work with, that I'm connected with, that I feel I have some type of lineage connection to. And work with, as part of the Iafw, are our primal light and sound fields. Okay. Now the primal sound fields, Kundalini, of the Yanas, okay. So basically another way of saying founder races is Yanas, at least that direct connection to them. Located, okay, the Yanas are located just outside of our time matrix. Okay. Just kind of outside. They were projected, okay, into being by the Iafw, or Ia 950 billion years ago. Okay. 950 billion years ago. Okay. Also known as the pre-sound. Okay. The Iafw is also known as the pre-sound eternal collective of consciousness, cave of creation, core, great spirit, source, and God. The term God that people use. The Yanas, okay, are also known, the Yanas themselves, are also known as the geomantic entities, ultra-terrestrials, the cosmic trinity, okay, ascended masters, or collectively the Melchizedek Cloister Order of the Unisai, Melchizedek Cloister Iani Elder Council, or our cosmic family of consciousness. They in turn projected the primal light field, or Ki Rashe. Okay, so we had first there was the word that came into being, the Yanas. They then projected the light, or the word, and then the light, the Ki Rashe. The three primal light fields, blue, gold, and amethyst. The Ki Rashe, density 5, Ante, A-N-T-E, -M-A-T-T-E-R, spherical thermoplasmic conscious light radiation fields. They're still around our time matrix. They hold our time matrix because they birthed in that time, our time matrix, into being. One, Iafw, core of creation, Manu, and then you have the Ire, Yanas, and the Mane, light, Ki Rashe. Okay, kind of another way of saying it. The three primal light, antimatter, spherical thermoplasmic conscious light radiation fields. Also, they are called the Rishi, right? The solar, the light were within the sun, solar Rishi, meta-terrestrials, or collectively the three founder races of consciousness, our universal family of consciousness, or the universal trinity. Light, sound, one, un. Okay. Really what the law of one has to do with the trinity. Okay. The founder races of the Ki Rashe have organic and divergent or fallen angelic aspects. Okay. So this is when we start to really understand what's going on right now. Okay. So the Emerald Order, Elohai Elohim, okay, the organic lineage, okay, they are the first light manifestation source consciousness, blue flame, Grandianus Ekatic. They in turn seeded the Anahazi feline hominoid, and again we're talking kind of the combination of the primal light and sound fields. Okay, and that light created the three main Ki Rashes. First one, Emerald Order, Elohai Elohim, the blue, okay, flame. So we've got the Anahazi, feline hominoid, Elohai, Elohim, Christos founder races, 950 billion years ago, in density 4, dimensions 10 through 12. The D12 pre-matter planet, Lyra Aramatena via Universal Stargate 12, aka Royal House of Aramatena, Iani Grail Line, and Orifim, Terranesium, Angelic Human Grail Line primary founders. Okay. And they are connected with Density 5 MC Iani Master Councils, was appointed by the Yanas, okay, as primary guardians of our time matrix, okay, founders of the 15-dimensional interdimensional association of free worlds, Azurite Universal Templar Security Team, again a Guardian Alliance Universal Service Organizations, and the Emerald Covenant Co-Evolution Agreements of 950 billion years ago. Just kind of saying that again, stressing that importance. Why does it seem like I'm getting darker? Great. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Now, the divergent, okay, or the fallen aspect of that founder, of that lineage, of those races, okay, or the inorganic fallen angelic Elohai Elohim lineages, you have the fallen D5, excuse me, that didn't come out right, fallen D11, Anyu, feline aquatic ape hybrid line of D11 planet Lyra Avian became the D11 Anu Elohim. Fallen angelic race line 250 million years ago. They were the creators of the Anunnaki, again, fallen angelic, Anu Avenger race of the Sirius star system. Also included in this group are the Pleiadian, Niberian, Anunnaki, hominoid, and bipedal dolphin people of Sirius A. Okay. And it doesn't mean that since that time, a lot of them haven't actually connected back in. But as a general rule, there's a lot of them that did go off on a divergent timeline and are running a descending path instead of an ascending path. Okay. The gold order Seraphi Seraphim, okay. The organic lineage is, they are the second light manifestation of source consciousness projected from the gold flame Ashayana's polaric energy matrix sound field. They seated in this time matrix the Ceres avian bird people, Anthian mantis, insect reptile dinoid, Seraphi Seraphim, Christos founder races, again 950 billion years ago, on density 4, but they are connected into the D10 pre-matter planet Lyra Vega via Universal Stargate 10. Okay. Really awfully dark. The Royal House of Vega, Iani Grail Line, and Orifim Terranesium Angelic Human Grail Line secondary founders. Okay. And just a little bit more information. They are were appointed by, okay, the Yanas to be secondary guardians of our time matrix. Also, they are charter members of the 15-dimensional interdimensional, or I should say, anyway, of free worlds, Azurite Universal Templar Security Team, and Guardian Alliance, Universal Service Organizations, and enter the Emerald Covenant coevolution agreement of 950 billion years ago, they were appointed as custodians of fallen draconian rehabilitation efforts. Their divergent inorganic fallen angelic Seraphi Seraphim lineages are, you have the fallen D10 Omicron, dragon moth, and Odedicron, reptile lines of D10 planet Lyra Vega became the D10 Draconian Seraphi Seraphim angelic race line. Angelic race line. Creators of the Dracon Zephlum Zeta, Dracos, Necromaton, the Azrael, the Dinoid, the Reptile, and Insectoid fallen angelic races centered in the Orion star system. Okay, so we have our ascending path cycling through the domains. And as we go through different cycles, some of us just can't quite make those cycles. So they veer off, they diverge off into their own worlds. And there are periodically times that they diverge back again and have opportunities to connect. And that's what this time frame is. And they can come in, and when they come in, or they can choose to come in, or they can interfere. There's been a lot of interference as they've diverged back into the ascending timeline. Okay. All right, the Amethyst Order, Brahmarama. Okay. The organic is, they are the third light manifestation of source consciousness, projected from the violet flame Ramayama's triadic energy matrix sound field. They were responsible for seeding the Inyu, I-N-Y-U, cetacean, C-E-T-A-C-E-A-N, whale people, aquatic dolphins, Pegasus, or Pegasi, P-E-G-A-S-A-I, as known as Pegasus, the avian horse deer, and the Yone, Y-O-N-E-I, maybe connected to the Yoni that we're currently working with, aquatic ape, Brahmarama Christos founders races, 950 billion years ago, on density 4, and they connected now into the D11 matter planet Lyra Avian via Universal Stargate 11. They are the legitimate royal house of Avian, Iani Grail line, and Orifim Terenesium Angelic Human Grail line contributing founders. Okay. Alrighty. They were appointed by the Yanas as contributing secondary guardians of our time matrix. Charter members of the 15-Dimensional Interdimensional Association of Free Worlds, Azerite Universal Templar Security Team, and Guardian Alliance Universal Service Organizations, and the Emerald Covenant Coevolution Agreement of 950 billion years ago, appointed as custodians of the fallen Anu Elohim and Anunnaki race regeneration efforts, many of which had been orchestrated by the Great White Brotherhood. They are no longer involved with it anymore. Divergent inorganic fallen angelic lineages of the Brahmaramas is the fallen Brahmarama race lines hybridized with Anu, Elohim, and Draconian Seraphi fallen angelic races. Okay, and I got this information from again from the Voyagers I, Sleeping Abductee by Ashayana Deane, Arhayas pages XLVII through 11. Okay, again, kind of the introductory material that she pretty much in all her books initially. You got to get the introductory material, because you can't talk about this stuff without understanding the players and what's going on and what they're about, and then you can fit the pieces together. It's a little but it's worth the effort. Okay, some of the key GA Signet councils to note for the current world stage. So I thought this was very important. I didn't name all of them, but just kind of mentioning some of them. People can go, oh, well, that's probably this and that's probably that, and kind of understanding. And then when somebody's saying they are, they probably maybe not. Okay. So, and we know the Signet councils 12 through 10 are the Cradle of Lyra, the Yanas group. And then the next one that I thought was key, did I skip 10? I guess I did. Okay, so 9, GA Signet Council 9, the Council of Mirach, Mirach, the Andromeda, of Andromeda, Emerald Order and Amethyst Order races from the Andromeda Star League. Okay, so when people talk about Andromeda, could be they're connected to this, maybe. All right, but then there's the Andromi group, which are the fallen aspect. Okay, but we did actually originally, our whole Milky Way galaxy that we're a part of was actually originally part of M31, which is in the Andromeda galaxy. So we do have that's where we want to go back. That's our whole Milky Way system actually is converging back up with M31. All right. I think I'm saying that right with M31. It might be that we're in 31, but anyway, it's an M30 something. Okay. The GA Signet Council 7 of Epsilon. Okay, so now we're connecting with the Arcturus, aka the Syrian Arcturian Coalition. Crisis Intervention Administration of MC Iani Master Council and Azurite Security Team oversees Emerald Covenant races from the Arcturian Federation of Planets. So I would say, oh Lord, his name has totally just gone out of my head. But he's a key speaker right now in regards to talking about Arcturus and the people that he feels he's lineaged with of the Arcturians. It could very well be that this is what we're referencing. He could be part of that. He could be part of those Arcturians. I think he probably is. Doesn't mean they don't get fooled. All right. Doesn't mean they don't do stupid things, because the guy did. But I'll talk about that maybe later. GA Signet Council 6, the Council of Azurline. Okay, and remember these signets relate to dimensions. All right. The Council of Azurline, Cirrus B. Maharaji. Okay, yeah. Blue Human, Azurite, Orifim, Emerald Order, Iani Rishi Grail Line, Council from, and this is interesting. Okay. Which Jeshua, Sananda, Melchizedek, Jesus Christ. We also reference him as J12. Incarnated in human form in 12 BC. This particular Grail lineage has been a custodian of the CDD plates, Cloister Doratora, I forgot what the T is, plates since 208,216 BC. And they're also progenitors of the contemporary Iani Indigo Children Type 1 and 2 Grail line of Earth. So when we talk about the Indigo Shield, I make reference sometimes to or people do make reference to the Indigo Shields, particularly in regards to Keylonic science. That's basically what we're referencing, okay, is this group. And so I would say, oh Lord, I forgot that name too. Okay, so I might come back to it. I'm trying to think the Maharaba, And anyway, I'm totally spacing, of course. That's what happens when I get into... Anyway, so, okay. The GA Signet Council 5, the Council of Alcyon, all right? Alcyon Pleiades. And they are a council in crisis, and that would be having to do Alcyon, basically another way of saying Terra, our harmonic universe 2, dimensions 4, 5, and 6, okay? The co-governing bodies, Emerald Order Terran, MC Iani, Priests of and Anahazi, Feline Hominoid, Gold, and also connect with the Gold Order Seraphi, Seraphim Hominoid, Avian, Oraphim, Ceres, and Amethyst Order Baharama Citation Inyu. All working together, trying to, and again, at the time of this original books were written, we're trying to kind of hold things together and prep things for the stellar activation cycle that was sparking in 2000 and running key time of 2012, but really we're kind of running it now as well. But basically, a lot of this particular one for sure, I think just crashed. It just fell because of some things that were going on. Another conversation. Anyway, their governing command committee is Emerald, Gold Order, Ashalam Command. The second command committee was Ashtar Command. They were the Amethyst and the Ashtar Command, who were the Amethyst Order Brahma overseeing rehabilitating Anunnaki races that entered the Emerald Covenant. Okay, so initially the Ashtar Command had that. We're talking a long time ago. Had that responsibility. Okay, and once had this governing body. Once had included Syrian and Nubarian Anunnaki organizations participating in bioregenesis. Okay, once, and kind of another offshoot that was created in this time matrix to kind of work with our divergent civilizations. The Ruby Order is a bioregenesis divergent races that is working to evolve, okay, back into the organic ascension path timeline. They primarily include Anu Elohim and Anunnaki, aka Anunnaki branches of the Alcyon Council. Okay. Ruby Order groups include the Nubarian Council of 9, 12, and 24. The Pleiadian Nubarian Anunnaki, Galactic Federation, Archangel Michael Collective, Ashtar Command, and the Anu Melchizedek Legions. Okay. Many Ruby Order defectors. So then we look at the defectors, okay, of this Ruby Order. Initially is what they started out as, and then over time defected. Okay. So this is pretty big, including these are the defectors. Galactic Federation, Ashtar Command, the Archangel Michael Matrix, Anu Melchizedek, and the Pleiadian Nubarian Anunnaki. And these were all guys responsible for manipulation and digression of the earthly angelic human lineage since 25,500 BC, during what we reference as the Lucifer Rebellion. Then, in recent history, for a short period of time, these defected groups rejoined the Emerald Covenant during the 1992 Syrian Pleiadian agreements, and then also entered a little bit later in the Guardians' July 5th, 2000 Treaty of Altair. And then, a few months later or so, they turned around on September 12th, 2000. Most of these groups defected from GA Signet Council 5 Alcyon Council to join the United Resistance with Draconian Fallen Angelic Legions to promote the Earth Pole Shift agenda to basically then suck, our time matrix into their divergent fallen matrix. Some groups accepted amnesty contracts from the GA and Iafw, remaining in the Emerald Covenant. It is difficult to know who, since the publishing of these works in 2001, as well as of 2022. It is really confusing because we now have the failsafe activation in 2011, which I think a lot of these groups are back on track. I'm going to say the Galactic Federation is back on track. And there may be been an Ashtar Command group that's back on track. Possibly. I'll give it to them. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. GA Signet Council 4, the Solar Council. Guardians of the D4 Sun Sol Stargate 4 gates. So basically having control of the sun in our system. The Guardians entrusted, this is another fun thing here. The Guardians entrusted the Nibarian Council of 9 by Alcyon Council in 148,000 BC, the Sol Stargate 4. So they were entrusted in 148,000 BC. They were entrusted with the responsibility of the Stargate 4 Sol Sun, which is a huge responsibility in this matrix. This is again the Nibarian Council of 9. We could say the Confederation of 9. It's been recently referenced. But again, in 25,000 BC, the Nibarian Council of 9 defected from Emerald Covenant, and then, because they had the gate, they were responsible for it, they in turn shared that control over with Stargate 4, control with the D11 Anu Elohim Fallen Angelic Legion. And they're still playing those games today. And I have to say, though, the Anu Elohim Anunnakis have recently been playing somewhat nice. They've been, being somewhat good. The GA Signet Councils 1, 2, and 3. So basically, we're talking about Earth. The Amenti, Amenti Project. The Amenti Planetary Templar Security Team, and we have the Inner Earth MC Priests of Ur. A lot of people talk about the Inner Earth. We've got the Inner Earth MC Melchizedek Cloister Priests of Ur, or Light. The Halls of Amenti Stargates are under the guardianship of the MCEani Master Council, Density 5, directed through the Cirrus B Maharaji Council of Azurlane. Again, that was that Alcyon SG5, Jeshua's lineage for the most part. The Lyrian High Council, GA Signet Councils 11, 10, or 12, 11, and 10, and the Inner Earth Brenoua, Breanoua, but the Brenoua, since this writing, have gotten a lot of compromise in there. I think are connected also with the White Brotherhood. You don't want to follow the White Brotherhood anymore, sadly. That could have changed, but I don't think so. And the Melchizedek Cloister Human Races, Shambhali and some Rama Mixed cloister human races. Okay. So, the Guardian Alliance pretenders. So, we have the United Intruder Resistance, aka AI Divergent Civilizations, is the GA pretenders trying through the might is right tactics to take the organic life force, us, for themselves because they are dying. All right? They do not want to take, and they don't want to take the time to do the bioregenesis, basically. They just want to play the create God card to take your power away. That's really the bottom line. When they say they're the Lord this and the Lord that, you know, okay, dokie, snooky monkeys. Alrighty then. Okay. This time matrix was designed 950 billion years ago to help these divergent, which is really a lot of us, parts of ourselves. We've got a lot of parts of ourselves that are divergent. We would not be here in this time matrix incarnating over and over again if there wasn't a divergent aspect of ourselves we're connected to. Okay, let's just not fool ourselves on that one. But we also have a lot of really great parts of ourselves too. But yes, this time matrix was designed to help these divergent groups find their way out of the rabbit holes they went down. And again, nothing wrong with going down rabbit holes because we're eternal beings, right? We never get it wrong because we never get it done as the eternal beings that we be, right? Much has been gained down the rabbit holes. So much so that we are developing as the freedom spirits. Okay? But there comes a time, okay, of reckoning with oneself. This is that time. Or we can say epoch, when all, let's see if I can get this right, all positive and negative, all right, polarity timelines polarize. This cycle, we have a lot of help to make the shift, all right? And I would say also Mobius is also another word for the divergent timeline. A lot of Dark Lord, disharmonic, disgusting beings coming. A lot of not so bad, just lost their way. But there's a lot of intentionally nasties coming in this divergent timeline. Coming in. This cycle, we have a lot of help to make the shift quicker. In other cycles, okay, because there's always cycling in and out, all right, we didn't have any help. It has been challenging for these divergent lineages to integrate the codes within their DNA through bioregenesis, right? Gigi Young has it totally right. Just because you introduce codes into somebody's body or whatever into their organics doesn't mean it's going to take or work. Okay, we have a lot of codes in us now that we're not using. They're dormant. So to be able to activate them and run them and restore all our abilities, it's tough, And I think that there's parts of ourselves on really out of this domain that really are realizing they realize they need to help out, aka fail safe. Okay. And yeah, I mean, in particular on divergent groups, the Anunnaki, bless their little hearts, have really struggled with overcoming this male-dominating, big, self-important ego, thinking they are the extraordinary beings in the most extraordinary beings in the universe. It's really been a struggle for them, big time. Bless their little hearts, really rough. They go so well. Toth is one of them. They go so well. He's learned so much. He was so entrusted. And then he just time after time just screwed over the human race, basically, for his Anunnaki Legion people race line. So, but yeah, so this, and we've seen this too also being played out really in today's Western culture. I mean, when people talk about, oh, there's the Anunnaki aren't here anymore, yeah, they are. Yes, they are. They may be hybrids with other lineages, the Dracos and stuff, but don't be fooled. They're around. There's a whole bunch of different lines of Anunnaki. So maybe one group's out, but you got 4 or 5 others. Okay, so just to say Anunnaki is not meaning are gone, it's not true. But anyway, our Western civilization, for the most part, is pretty much based on Anunnaki. The Cabal groups, okay, are a combination of Anunnaki and Draco. Both races are very self-centered, egotistical, and male-dominant, might is right mentality, okay? Very divergent, very, very divergent, okay? In every epoch cycle, okay, there are always there's just always those that cannot make it, okay? All right? They just can't make the next, everything moves in cycles, okay, as you ascend up. And when the stellar spiral opens and the frequencies come in, there are just those that just can't hold the frequency and they just diverge off. Some may be in a little smaller divergence where they just kind of hold space for a bit till they grow a bit more, and then the next cycle they can leap back on. And then there's ones that really diverge off, okay? And we're addressing the ones that really diverge off, okay? Okay. Those people eventually digress until they de-evolve into a fallen angelic divergent timeline. There are periods when these divergent civilizations have the opportunity to realign with their organic pattern. If they don't emerge and realign, both are affected, okay, as more lineage parts digress further, okay? Digress further. This is why bioregenesis is so important, right? No matter where you are it. You are the all that is, God source first eternal, Aya. Even when you're going divergent, you just get your template gets kind of really, really fractured and twisted and up, but you're still who you are. Okay, you may not be living in breath, out breath, organic expression, but you're still within source. And you're still connected to that higher timeline, even though you've digressed off. There's still a link up to the neural network pathways at some level, right? Because it's still the all it is. So we really want to link what we can back up and have all those experiences. So we really go up, okay? Some examples of these time periods, not all, I mean, it's probably billions of them, but just ones that stand out that I know historically. You have the fall of Terra. You have Lemuria, and we've actually had 3 different periods of Lemurias and Lemurias or whatever, just on planet Earth alone, not counting what went on with Terra, and as well as Atlantis. Okay, we have different time periods of different cycles relating to that time, to that particular type of lineage. Lemurian tend to be more female Ere civilizations. Atlantis tends to be more Mane, male electrical. Okay. Both trying to balance those 2 parts of self into the eternal of both, of it all. And this current time space is an example of those critical junctures in time. When the different timelines converge together, we have, of course, the organic, highly evolved self aligning with the fallen, all right? Soul aspects allowing them to realign bioregenesis back to the higher timeline of evolutionary progression. So yes. And now, so yes, kind of looking at current situations. So yes, there is a Council of 9, they call themselves, or they've used the word confederation, recently referenced by the Galactic Federation of World Contactees, okay, back in November, December, okay, of last year. Now, they were part of the GA Signet Council 5, the Council of Alcyon, the Pleiades of the Ruby Order back in the day, right? They are actually, okay, the Nubarian Council of 9, okay? That's actually who they are. So, again, as reiterated earlier, I'm going to say it again, since 25,000 BC, they and other divergent groups have not had the angelic human race, okay, us, good intentions in mind. They are currently part of the intruder resistance renegade AI divergent timeline, or artificial intelligence, okay? In other words, inorganic, all right, inorganic. Yep. Organic, renewal back into the core of our eternal being, breathing life in, regenerating, and then experiencing all that around. And then the artificial, finite, second creation mechanics of, I gotta feed up, I'm not breathing so much, I'm more like this, struggling, and digressing more, falling apart more and more, becoming more rigid, okay, more dead light, Shona crystals, okay. They are not working to realign, right, their template back into the ascension organic timeline, but to take whatever or whoever life force they can take with them, right, into their world. Okay? They just literally try to take our vector, or our reality field, our time matrix, through a portal system into their realm. Okay? And they do kind of D4, D5 realm. Okay? The astral realm. Okay. And I think it's interesting because the Galactic Federation of Worlds, they've been doing really well. A lot of really good things I've been hearing. Feeling really positive about them, considering the Voyagers books kind of says they did, digress 25,000 BC. They've kind of come back in through some amnesty contracts, kind of working. I legitimately think they really are. But I just think it's interesting that this so-called Council of 9 Confederation comes in and just blows all that up. No. No. Okay, causes trouble and division between two really great people, contactees, that have been really both giving some good, we're giving some really good information. Anyway, so, frustration on that. Making it accountable where I think it should be accountable. And, I think the Galactic Federation, I do appreciate that the worlds makes the difference between, and Megan Rose has done a really good job with that, making the separation between the Galactic Federation of Worlds and the Galactic Federation of Light. I think the Galactic Federation of Light is a divergence of the actual timeline of the worlds one. I think they interplay with each other. I think they affect each other. There's a relationship, which of course makes them both vulnerable to each other. But I would say Megan Rose was totally spot on when she reported that the Galactic Federation of Worlds had been infiltrated from November through December by AI technology. And I'm going to say, more specifically, from this intruder divergent races and the Nubarian Council of 9 I think that Council of 9 was the Trojan horse that came in, okay? And it wasn't through Megan, okay? Her little ocular was not burned up, all right? Because her ocular was one that they got, right? They gave her that ocular. It was more to their They, as in the Galactic Federation of Worlds, it's their ocular. They have more control over it than the other ocular, the other person, okay? Okay. You have to look at who is still, and again, now, the Federation is, I really feel, is bit by bit cleaning up the mess that occurred when that happened. And I think that, I think they're bit by bit cleaning it up. But I have to say, just look at who is still following what this council is saying. And also trashed Megan publicly, just saying. Megan is a very kind and Christic to not trash the person back. I'm only showing the I'm only talking about it just because I just want to show the dynamics of what has been going on this planet for millions of years. This game, back and forth, okay? I kind of really wish it would stop, but it probably never will, but if we can at least mitigate, would be really nice. I would say, kind of currently looking at what I've been hearing recently, that they've been talking about, the Federation of Worlds has been talking through their contactees. The Ashtar command ship reported recently parked by Jupiter, I think it is. This might actually be the Voyagers from the GA Signet Council 5, the Council of Alcyon, the Pleiades system that I mentioned earlier of the Ashtar command. And it may be that they actually had escaped when the planet was taken over by the Draco, or more actually probably the Nubarian Anunnaki probably were the ones that actually really took it over. Meaning possibly utilizing the legions of the Draco. Meaning possibly they could maintain their template without compromise and get away and have been in hiding. I keep getting, that's true. But I would say most of the time when you hear from the Ashtar Command in the past few years or so, when the one associated with the Galactic Federation of Light, it's probably the Divergent one that Dracos have control over, and the Nubarian Anunnaki. I'm going to say that's probably those guys, and the more recent one is it's come in, is probably, I'll say legit at this point, unless I get my gut changes and I get other information. Okay. Yeah, but again, they could be divergent group from this fallen star system, now working with, actually never stopped working with that Nubarian Council of Nine to infiltrate the Galactic Federation of Worlds and compromise the angelic human race ascension into New Earth. But again, I get internally, no. But only time will tell for sure. But definitely I would keep not really jump in and really get into any of them, but connect, stay in your own eternal expression of being. These disharmonic, divergent civilizations may never end, and maybe we can mitigate when we all come to terms with our own dark forces within. We can step back and breathe. Again, stepping back. Breathe into your own inner being. Listen to what that still voice within that may or may not follow logic. Okay, what your different parts of self what are your different parts of self trying to tell you? Who are being reflected? Who are the beings being reflected back at you in your outer world? As demons or angels or AIs or FAs, okay? I have said this before, and I will repeat it again. You create your own reality. More particularly, you create your lone harmonic reality with every breath you take. Only what is in your template, okay, will you see and experience. We are all connected to the core of the earth through our root chakra, okay, to the earth's core chakra, root chakra, morphogenetic template through our biofeed root chakra connection, creating our personal lone harmonic morphogenetic planetary template which connects to the Earth's planetary mass consciousness morphogenetic template, or creating the mass morphogenetic template. Okay, aka I am. Right? We are an intricate part of this time matrix. Okay, the whole thing, which includes all the planets in this solar system. All right, that were originally pieces of, I've kind of been saying it before, Terra, our harmonic universe 2, within the Alcyon system, D5, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, 5 being the control key for that density plane. All density planes have 3 dimensions within them: molecular, elemental, emotional, and mental holographic. At all the different dimensional domains, there's that relationship. All right. AI consciousness is what I call, again, second creation finite programs. This consciousness is highly materialistic, analytical, and process-oriented. Another way of saying it is the epitome of Ahrimanic forces. Very dry and cold energy that our Western scientific civilization was built on. I say, take what's useful of this science, this type of logical, rational thinking is useful, and leave the rest. Okay, we gained a lot in developing our brain process to think for ourselves, to develop into a freedom spirit, or really developing into a freedom spirit, because it's still evolving into that one. We're just little babies in that regard. But as we move into the Aquarian age, okay, it is time to bring the spirit back into the equation. Not so being here, but more balancing them together in our eternal core of our being. Okay. The Ahrimanic forces, aka AI, aka fallen angelics, aka divergent civilizations, do not want to, and at times may not be able to, make that shift, right? All they can do is try to save themselves by eating what they can of the world's life force, the organic life force. Okay. For example, what we have been learning lately has been happening to the little people and the party substance. They cannot sustain and maintain on their own, okay? They have to feed off organic life forms. Once you understand this, okay, and the games, all right, that are being played, you can look within yourself. Where have I been playing the game as the handmaiden? We don't front. We've all, at some point, either this lifetime or another, we've done it, okay? Or the system, they wouldn't be able to have done what they did. They're only, 3 to 5%? Okay. All right, need I say more? Or have I been one of the little people used, right? And I can't say the word, but all can get little people, all right? This is the time to speak up and take a stand, okay, as a sovereign, organic, live, angelic human being. Say no. Use N-O, okay? And just say N-O. You don't have to do anything else. Just stand in N-O. That is the most powerful thing that you can do as you turn inwards to discover just who you really are. Just say the one word, 2 letters, N-O. No, no more. Stop. Back off. Go. Okay? They can only do what they say. Oh, gee, maybe. Oh, I feel so sorry for you. Oh, and you're so much better than me sometimes. Oh, you say you're Lord this and that, and Lord Melchizedek, and oh my goodness. from royalty. No, they're not. No, they've usurped that. They've usurped it. They've usurped the real humans that have that power. Earth is ground zero for this timeline convergence. The original ascension pathways have been damaged, shut down because of the interfering divergent civilizations over a long period of time. Okay. There is a lot of technicals behind this shutting down process. The Sliders series from Arhayas Productions would be an excellent for those who would like to do research. And I have a link below. There's a private Facebook, the Sliders series group that you can connect into and just say, I really want to learn about this series. I just heard someone's O She Wha Nitah speaking on it, and I just really would like to learn more about it, of the mechanics. And then also, if you want to know just in general about Helonic science, there's also a Facebook group, private Facebook group, Chaos Reality Newcomers Council, that I have a link here too in below, that you can learn more. Harmonizing Journey to Realignment, a suggestion on how you can navigate your way through this time matrix, the work that I do. The Voyagers Series hit home for me back in 2000. The Helonic science techniques helped me to kind of shift my hologram to connect with my inner being. I love the Melchizedek Emerald Order, but I've always felt like I was adopted, that it's their family, but I've always felt not quite directly related, still kind of related to the angelic human part of me, but I kind of felt like I connected to some other parts, other realms. As the current drama unfolded and new players came on the scene, such as the Waz, the Mashayahanas, the Fems, and the Alhambras, I finally, again, those are outside of this time matrix coming in, but still have a link up, especially through the fact that they created this realm, and there was a lot of hybridization programs to connect the DNA so they could be in our hologram. I finally found my family. These new councils came in to develop the bypass, what I call the bypass system. This time matrix has gone down so many rabbit holes. To come back out has been difficult. Help was needed, right? I talked about it earlier. This has been really tough. Again, thank you, failsafe. All right, people have heard about the failsafe. The bypass system is also from a Helonic Science, Arhayas Productions, KDDL term, re-evolutionary rise reconnection. Okay, Arhayas Productions, that's their term. A bypass system was created through the Aurora, something called the Aurora Continuum, to compensate. Again, the Sliders material is excellent on the development of the progression of this bypass system, because this system's kind of crumbled up and twisted up. I wouldn't go directly up anymore with the regular stellar activation cycle. It kind of turned into a reverse divergent. You're going to go on a divergent timeline. You're going to go on a divergent timeline. Bypass is going to get you back up, okay? With all of that's been going on in this matrix for a long time, okay? The Guardians have come in to help with the failsafe, and the failsafe was activated in 2011, although if you learn the history, there's been periods of time where we activated at different seedings, different parts of it, but officially in 2011 got activated. Again, a Sliders series 10 through 12 and the KDDL material for the detailed mechanics, again, Arhayas Productions. And I utilize a lot of that in what I do. I utilize the mechanics in my own unique way. Okay? This technology has allowed us to connect directly into the core of Source itself, allowing one to utilize the consciousness that created the mechanics that creates worlds, giving one the capability to realign and recalibrate one's own template back to its organic first creation mechanics, but with all the memories and knowledge gained in this time matrix. Because many other times we just kind of restarted, and all that information kind of got fragmented and lost. But we're working now to take it all and bring it back up. The Aurora Continuum, okay, is what I think of as the between planes, is a portal pathway to travel through different states of matter. In other words, another way of saying this is traveling the neural network pathways of the eternal spirit of the all that is, God's source. That is the mind of creation, Ia, of God's source, first eternal. Another part of this bypass system is the deity planes. Again, this is not my terminology. Are a Christic core, and again, I took this out of page 8 sliders handout. Azurite. This is Azurite Press / Arhayas Productions now. Okay, so Christic core encryption that is held in the Aurora Continuum frequency spectra blends with the frequency spectra of the dimensional domain Cosmia planes, in which the Iafw frequency spectra creates a new set of trans-time-spatial reality fields literally materialized, linking the domain space-time coordinate with the dimensional planes. Okay, so that then leads us into connecting more to New Earth. And New Earth is kind of different for everyone, right? There's a lot of people talking out there about it because they're picking it up through the ether, so to speak. Kind of, depending upon their template, run their own unique expression of it. Okay? So it's different for everyone, but as a general rule, New Earth is breaking away from being a shut-down, fight or flight VV game that we have been playing here on Net Earth. It is ascending to a more profound, insightful, aware expression of oneself. And again, the 5D awareness is not really where we're going to end up particularly, as much as, because again, you don't want to be careful to go up to the 5D straight. You want to go through the D planes to the bypass system, because all those dimensions are getting created again. But you don't want to quite go direct. Again, that's taking into the divergent timeline. Okay. It's really, now it's kind of really a catch-all term to mean releasing from the D4 net Earth, okay, consciousness. And then once you go through the net, the D4 net, astral plane net over surrounding us, we can then expand out to all the different dimensional domains of our template structure. Okay. The HJR Seminar Series defines New Earth now, Aurora Earth, as a state of being that we, as guardians, have of this time matrix, created a long time ago as a thought intention held within the inner mind of the all that is, God Source First Eternal, Iafw. Okay. Aurora Earth, Sanctuary Island, is part of this mechanics, which is located off the coast of Florida. Okay. And it directly links up through, and right at that is the D2 gate. So there's a link up with the D2 control key for the planetary structure. Directly links up through the deity planes into our current density 1 net Earth. So it comes in through that D2, connects into our net Earth time space, so we can then connect. Okay. Reality linking us to this new Aurora Earth. It's in our core. It's coming out. You can feel it in some geographical locations more than others. You can kind of feel the difference as the net's breaking up. Okay. Also part of the mechanics was merging our present net Earth with Ascension Median Earth. Okay, January 2013. So Median Earth is an energetic manifest expression of Earth that has stayed on the ascension path, and they've merged together and integrated. So that's why I'm saying it's like you can kind of feel in certain areas, Aurora Earth, and still kind of feel a little bit of the Net Earth, because they're merging and working together and working out the kinks and different things. The more they can integrate that Ascension Median Earth, as well as other energies coming in, will fully become more of Aurora Earth. And but we got to let go of this old controller system that we've been hanging on to out of fear, okay, and being gaslighted to stay under this controller system, okay. Which is why we're going through all of the Earth Alliance White Hats are doing all of what they're doing to help us out. But we got to wake up. We got to say no, right? Go truckers! Anyway, okay. So, meaning it's an open and flowing with the higher spiritual realms coming in. Combining these two energetic manifest portions of Earth increase their quantum of thrust expression into a deeper embodiment of the spirit body they both are a part of, aka Eukatharistic body, EUKATHARISTA body, and many higher levels as well. Okay, but kind of really is sort of another way of saying this time matrix is what the word I just spelled out. Eukatharistic. The Aurora Earth intends to blend, since it's becoming more and more sustaining and maintaining self in itself, Aurora Earth. It's also now connecting because of just needing that extra quantum, because the divergent guys are really giving us trouble, right? Trying to keep that old system alive. The Aurora Earth intends to blend with the Urea Earth consciousness field, which I feel like at this point I get intuitively is kind of around the Earth, energetic field around the Earth consciousess field. Okay. And it connects directly into something called the Urale Kin Observatory, or K-Kin. This against another Arhayas production term of the Iafw consciousness, another chaos term from the KDDL3 Arhayas Productions. This was nurtured and developed in the deity planes and Aurora Continuum, okay, within this network, and it's been coming around, supporting Aurora Earth, embodying it, helping those that are making it straight out of Net Earth. The divergent ones have the potentiality of connecting into Aurora Earth. I think most people are probably going to integrate into Aurora Earth, and I think there will be some that will integrate more into Urea Earth as well. I almost think of it as almost like saying heaven, but that's not really probably accurate, but close. That's what it feels like. Okay. We are grounded now within the Aurora Earth Plane core. Now we can embody and create from the Urale Kin, the Urea Earth. Okay. And then with that, the Ashayana Residential Per Salon, nicknamed the Pot Space. And again, that's another KDDL term. Actually, Slider's term as well. Arhayas Productions. Is our home that directly connects with our plasma spirit body. They are a replica of our unique energy encryption as all that is, God's first eternal Ia. It's a teardrop-shaped plasma structure. Depending upon what dimensional level you can experience it at, it becomes a little bit more solid, more flame-like. It can be a travel vehicle. It is a structure in the teardrop shape. Inside, there is a running Iafw dream stream, holy waters, aquifers, and waterfalls. There are 4 fire, water, flame hearths, and our own unique manifestation platform upon which we dream our reality into being. There is an Iafw flame open at the lens at the top, the skylight at the top. We also have, and you'll get into my work, you see my funky one that I created. But anyway, Aisha has a much better one that she put together. We also have a direct link up into the deity planes and Aurora Continuum through this vehicle, right? As well as now the Crystal Caverns and something else, and some quite a few other things we're connecting into now too. The Rainbow Ray, the Rainbow River, Rainbow Stream, Rainbow Crystal, all kinds of fun stuff. As we expand and grow into the structure, it also becomes a travel vehicle we can use to traverse more easily the neural network pathways of the mind of creation as an adept, an Adashi adept. I think these structures, to me, I don't think Aisha's ever said this, but they remind me honestly of the Vimanas that we, ancient India texts reference. Their references is more 3D-ish looking, but I think they're kind of the same thing. Just a different version or a different lineage of it, okay? The Ashayana relates to who we are as Adashi Adepts. An Adashi Adept has traveled through all the dimensional domains, and we were able to do it directly. All the dimensional domains, returning to the core of the all that is, which is really turning into yourself. God Source First Eternal, Iafw, fully embodiment. They have then chosen to come back down through the dimensional domains of the neural network pathways of the mind of creation to experience again and or do service contracts to help others traverse their unique neural network pathways of the mind of creation. Okay. The Ashayana is an accomplished adept who, through their service contracts, would navigate their way back fully again into the core of the all that is, God Source First Eternal, Iafw. They are current eternal core, okay, expression. They are currently involved in the fail-safe service contract to help us as adepts return home. Okay. So when you take advantage of the Harmonizing Journey to Realignment sessions, you're basically, in essence, becoming an Adashi, back activating your contract as an Adashi Adept, because you wouldn't be interested in any of this if you were like a divergent off somewhere else. If you're lining back up with who you are, yeah, you're going to want to take this in big time. Okay. Okay. And I have available now, and I guess I can delete it now. I just did a Q&A earlier today, so I will have the link for that if you want to tune in and get some more information about me and about my classes and my work and my membership program, HJR Gatekeepers membership program. There's 6 months membership of $120, and a year is $240. If you want to take my class coming up in March, would be $420. And I have links in here down below for you. And below are helpful links to learn more. Thanks for taking the time to read my Harmonizing Journey HJR Insights blog post or listening to it. Please consider tipping if this information was of value to you. I cannot do this with I can't. I'd be out in the streets on my butt without you guys' help. Also consider taking advantage of my of my services for your own personal growth and expansion into this new age. Again, I do private sessions, Harmonizing Journey to Realignment sessions, 2-hour session, as well as the membership program with the recordings. And if you're able to do the live class, it's really awesome. So I guess that's with that. I have a link for the to be able to purchase the Volume 2, Secrets of Amenti, Voyagers book. Angelic Reality, so survival manual. There's actually a place you can go for the PDF. I also have the link for Arhayas Productions, because you want to go direct to the horse's mouth. And a link for the private session and the program. Okay, so I think we have it all covered. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Hope to hear and talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.